I'm looking in the mirror of my mind, I can see your arms wrapped around me. I know it's gonna be a long time before I'm back where I wanna be.
Here with Grammy-nominated, modestly impeccable singer, songwriter, composer, Mr. Alvin Garrett. Mr. Garrett, I'm gonna let you lead. Tell people what we're doing here tonight.
Well, first and foremost, let me say thank you for having me yet again to come and speak with you and everyone that's listening right now. We are promoting new music, new hair, new vibe, new energy, fully refreshed, and back at it in 2023, man. And I'm just excited to be back at it.
Okay, that hair is popping always.
Okay. Set it up.
Okay, so let's get into it. Now, you started out, for people who don't know, and it's probably very few, but let's do a refresher course that don't know, because everybody know Alvin Garrett, especially in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Come on, let's hit him. Let's hit him with it.
Period, Pooh. So you started out in church playing bass guitar in Alabama, following the path that your parents laid out to becoming one of the most sought-after background and soulful vocalists of our era. So with that being said, what made you fall in love with that part of music, and what did your folks have to say about that?
To be honest, my parents have always been supportive, because they knew I carried the spirit that they instilled in me, no matter what decision or what direction I went in with my music. And literally they prayed for me to learn how to play an instrument and told me to always, just honor God in whatever I do, and do it, what they say, do it as unto the Lord. So it wasn't about secular music or gospel music. It's like, just do everything to honor him. And so just being an R&B songwriter, a gospel songwriter, a musician, jazz, R&B, gospel, being a soul artist, they're just proud that I keep that at my core. And that's like in my DNA, no matter what type of song I write, be it a love song, you still feel what you would call this elegance. If I'm singing about making love, it's making love to your woman, not a woman. You know what I'm saying? Right. Those women. So even down to that type of music that I write, there's still a certain character that I like to put into my music that goes back to my upbringing.
Okay. And we hear it in all of your songs, and we're going to get into that. So you originally worked in corporate America, but through it all found voice and reason to pursue singing as a full-time career. Now, did you wake up one day and say, you know what, you can take this job and shove it? How did you... Now, how did you step into that profession with or without struggle as an artist?
Well, I did not wake up one day and say, you can shove it. No, I had a plan. It was a very meticulous, well thought out, and I drew it out. And so I started my business, my music business, in college, but I didn't come from deep pockets. I'm gonna be straight up. I didn't come from a poor background, but I didn't come from a rich background where they could just write a check for my dream. So I had to work for some things.
Right.
So coming out of college as a graduate with a business management degree, I took a job, but I had a plan. And so I saved my money, got me a nice, modest apartment, got me a car, had me a budget, bought a bunch of studio and sound equipment, then party a lot, that type of thing. And when my job collided with my dream, I had a choice. And it took about 2 years where I was running out of vacation time for all of the opportunity that I was trying to take. More things started coming my way, and I had to make a decision. I was at that crossroads, but I had already made a plan. And I'll be honest with you, there were times when I was sitting on that job and I'd be thinking about my dream, and I felt wrong. And I said, if I'm going to do this job, do it as unto the Lord. Like, come here and give these folks my best, and then do it after hours. And that's when things changed for me, because it was like, I owe these people my best. I shouldn't be on the job. And so when it was time for me to go, it felt right because I had done right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, I feel like, hey, give me your best now, because I understand what it feels like to be on the other side of that transaction, providing a service for somebody and them depending on you to show up on time, depending on you to be productive. So I did have, lay one nice joke on my boss, my ex-boss. He was like, how you gonna eat? Music. Yeah, he really asked me that. And I said, with a fork. How about that?
Period. Period. I can't take it. Right, he didn't stunt your growth, okay?
No, what about?
And you still eating off that fork. That fork might have changed 20 times. You eating on the more, let's say, classier fork now, okay?
Yeah, a bigger one till you get more spaghetti. Get more spaghetti on that fork.
Right. One of them super crazy looking forks. But
yeah.
So now you released your first solo project in 2012, which you consider one of your greatest accomplishments from what I've read in other interviews. Next to those Grammy nominations. Now, although you've earned all this success, it was one thing that if it was one thing that you could change about the journey, knowing what you know now, what would that be?
Oh, well, I'm actually at that point in life where I won't change a thing, right? Because I realized that all of it was necessary for me to be who I am today. So because I've matured, and this is with full disclosure, I didn't always feel this way. There were times where I held on to resentment about people, choices, or rejection. That was a part of my journey, and also insecurity about my voice or who I was as an artist, or I went through that space. So that's honest and pure. And had you asked me then, I probably would have said, well, I wish such and such would allow me to go on tour with them. Right. Now, when I look back from today, I said, no, I'm glad they didn't take me on tour, because I wouldn't be who I am today. Nor would I have learned the lessons that made me who I am today. So I wouldn't change anything. Today I wouldn't. But 5 years ago, 3 years ago, had you asked me that, then I probably could have found something, because I hadn't healed yet. You know what I mean?
Right. So let's talk about it. Church love, not love, church hurt. It goes hand in hand with the industry hurt. Did you get counseling? How did you overcome those things through the years?
Well, for me, I'll have to say, I can't say that I got counseling. My dad, who's my pastor. So let me fix my answer, because I have always had counseling. Right. Because my dad is a great counselor, and anytime I've ever reached that point where I needed someone to talk to, I have been fortunate enough to have a wise, loving father who I can call, who can, number one, comfort me as a son, but also point me to the inspiration of the word to keep me moving. And so we still share on that level. But over the years, I can't say that church hurt me, or that the industry hurt me, right? I can say that people are people.
People are people, right?
People are people. And you realize and learn that people have to hurt you, because you can't stay in the same place with all people all the time, even if you want to. And so for instance, there have been artists that I've written hit songs for, and I would ask, can I take a picture with you? Because my goal is to promote myself. Right. But looking back, no, sir, you're very handsome, and you might be my replacement one day. And I don't want you to know how insecure I am about you, because I really want you to just write me songs, and I don't want you to sing. I want you to write. They don't know how to tell you that. Right. They just say, well, maybe next time. How do you turn around and tell somebody you see more in than they see in themselves? Right. Nah, bro, you shine too bright. Like, how about you? So I've felt, and I've looked back, and I'm like, oh, they saw me before I did. Right. That's right. Manifestation. They saw me before I did. They saw my charisma when I was more so seeing myself smaller. And that's where the healing came for me, and the forgiveness is that not everybody knows how to deal or to embrace, because it's maybe not their calling to lift you to your future. That's right. It's their role at that point in time to take care of themselves. And that does not mean that they owe you anything. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this is healing. This is growth over time, to say, I respect that rejection that you gave me. I respect it now because I see now what you saw then.
That's right. We all see it, okay?
Come
So,
on, you know?
and then speaking to that, you have over 30 credits of what songs you've written that I can find. It may be more. You've had 8 albums. So now now you're working on something else. So tell us about it.
Yes, my new project. My new single is called Till I Get Back to You.
Till I Get Back to You.
It's a jam, it's a groove, and it's the lead single from my new album that'll be releasing later this summer called SFTY, Safety, which is an acronym for Songs for the Yard. And there's some really, really cool inspiration that this project comes from, you know, and it goes back to some time that I spent over the past couple of years finding my cause. You know, everybody should find something that matters to them. And for me, I found my cause in the field of prison reentry, workforce development, serving those that have been impacted by the justice system, youth and young adults and adults here in the Birmingham area with an agency called the Dannon Project. Now, I came in with a songwriting class, but I did not know that I was going to find my calling as I got close enough to learn and listen and fall in love with people and fall in love with service, and ended up being inspired to write an album about the yard. And they say not just the yard, the prison yard,
right,
but the yard we all have. Like, what does that yard mean? What is the concept of the yard? And one of my guys said, he said, man, the yard is that space that we all long for. We know we're not free, but we get a taste of freedom, just a taste of it. And he didn't realize that he was inspiring a whole concept. So we all searching for a taste of freedom, just a little bit, just to get out in that yard, feel like a kid again in this hard life we live, just some free time, a moment away from all of our troubles, some mental reprieve, some therapy. And that is what this new project is all about, is songs for the yard, songs that take us to that safe place,
right,
to where we can be emotional. We can cry as grown, hard men. We can think back to those traumatic experiences, but in a fun, bubbly way through music. And so that's what's coming, and that's what's on the table for Alvin Garrett and this new music. Yeah.
Okay. Alvin Garrett has always been one of those inspirational songwriters. But like you said, you have the love making and everything, that the great recipes to being in love. So with the yard, did you veer away from that, or what can people who's accustomed to the romance expect?
Oh no, this is not the romance album.
This is not the romance, because he said
this ain't the romance album. No. You can go back to my first album, Expose Yourself, for the romance.
Okay.
And my last one, The Lightness of Love, for the romance. But this one is more intrinsic, right? It's as close to gospel as I'm gonna get.
Okay.
It's not a gospel record in terms of worship or church. It's the spirit of inspiration and motivation through songs that make you think. Now, my new single is a love song, but it's written from the place of captivity that says, what keeps me holding on through these tough times away from the one I love, away from.
So that is from,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like, till I get back to you. It's like the thought of you, the memory of you is keeping me alive, it's keeping me breathing. So that is a romantic record. But this ain't the bedroom album. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
That'll probably be my next one, but this one, in terms of the space that I've been in and the experience that I've been in as an artist, I wanted to allow myself to receive the music. And to me, I feel like that is art. Where not just like, oh, let me see what's hot. What can I sell? That's commercialism. And that's fine, because we need to do it to make our bread. But for me, I wanted to get in that space to say, I'm an artist and this is what I felt. Take it, leave it, love it, hate it. This is my art. And I'm so excited about this new music, man.
Congratulations, Mr. Garrett. Now, you answered this question a few moments ago, but I'm going to ask you again.
Okay.
Because you just threw it out there. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, so we're going to do it again. Now, God gave you this amazing talent to play instruments, write ballads, and sing. With that in mind, and you sit and think about it, how have you honored yourself and how have you honored God through your music?
Absolutely. Listen, by just accepting the calling of being an inspirational voice. When, in the earlier portion of my career, I did want to just get rich like everybody else. I want to hit record. I'm gonna write till I can write a hit record, and my bank is gonna run over, my mailbox gonna fall over. It's every writer's artist's dream to get rich doing what you love to do. That's a formula in your mind. But when I wrote this song by myself, and the experience I went through with this song that everybody's like, that's a hit, that's a hit, that's a hit. My mailbox didn't lean quite so hard, but I kept getting all these testimonies. I had people telling me the song saved their life. I had people telling me the song got them through cancer treatment, through divorces. The song helped them start businesses. But then I also experienced people not even knowing who I was.
Right.
So it's like they know the song, but they don't know me. And that was tough.
Right.
It was a tough experience that as an artist, hoping that you write a hit song, you go on tour, you make a bunch of money, you get famous. That wasn't my journey. It's like, how do you hear my song but don't see me? It was literally one of the most humbling experiences ever, but it led me to my purpose, which is be that voice.
Right.
Be that song that can lift someone from the depths of their despair, even if they don't see you. And that is service. That is love, to say, if I don't get glory out of this, you will. And so to me, that's the artist I have become, to where I say, it's okay. I'm gonna write this music with somebody else's soul in mind, with somebody else's experience in mind, whether I get the glory out of it or not. And that is how I have paid tribute to that calling as a writer, to accept that this is my journey. This is my calling. If people are looking to me to write them that song that frees them from that moment, I will write it.
Okay. And Grammy nominated, period. So now I'm glad you said something about By Myself, because I did have a question. Now, that was the magnum opus, although the mailbox wasn't leaning and the bank account wasn't dinging the way it was supposed to be. Like, we done all had the moments like, ooh, is it negative? Does it say positive and negative? But have you accomplished all that you set out to do since making that single? When you think about the words that you used when you made that song, did you do what you set out to do?
I am still doing what I set out to do, which was to go on, even if I had to go on by myself. And I will honestly say that I kept pushing until I found the people who would rock with me, right? And sometimes you have to stand alone in order for you to find that joint mission. So I can't say that I'm not alone anymore, that I have people who are with me, who where our visions and our callings align. And that's a wonderful space to be in, because one can put 1,000 to a flight, two can put 10,000 if you're truly together and working together. And so, I'm honored to still be making great music. My mailbox does lean, It leans.
Eyes on the ground, okay?
Oh, let me go help you out there.
I'm like, God, no, I need to do it.
But I have learned over the past couple of years, like you say, as it relates to wealth and the mindset of wealth, what it really means, and the richness of ideas. You know, and so I can't say that I've always understood the wealth of my ideas, but I do now. And so I position myself to capitalize on my great ideas, my great talent. But that is because I have people around me now who I can trust to show me those things about myself and not just exploit and extract my talent. And out of respect to everybody I've had in my life, sometimes that's the best people can do, is just get the best out of you, because maybe they aren't the person to help you get the best out of yourself. And so, like I said, through a healing process, I have been able to look back and say, okay, It was for you to extract it. It was for you to go #1 with my song. It was for you to go on the world tour with my song and nobody know I wrote it. That's okay. My time is coming.
That's right.
My time is coming.
That's right. God's word will not return back void.
Amen. Amen.
Period. So now I have a question. It's about one of your songs. It's a love-making song.
Okay.
I gotta find it. Now, where is my song?
Oh.
Go Together. Okay, speaking of the songs.
Okay.
Now, last time we spoke, you were releasing The Lightness of Love. That hadn't come out yet. Now, I have a favorite on the album, Go Together, Blues.
Okay.
So what was the inspiration? Because when I listened to your new song, Till I Get Back to You, I was thinking it would have been similar to Go Together, but it's not. It's like, that's the yard. You talking about somebody sitting in prison missing their woman. Okay. But that's what you're talking about. So what inspired Go Together? Go Together is my jam. I like
it's
that.
It's your jam.
It out, okay.
Go Together is the journey to get back to you, because it's like, if we go, we're gonna go together. You know what I'm saying? If we float, we're gonna float together. It's about being with that person that you love and that memory, but then they're within reach, right? You are with them, you are having that experience. And what does that feel like when that person you love is within reach?
Right.
Till I Get Back to You is that song when they're out of reach.
Right.
And that's different for everybody else. I mean,
that's different.
Whoever you are, you know what that feels like when something or someone you love is out of reach. Mm-hmm. That's Till I Get Back to You. Is that breathlessness of like, listen, I can't breathe no more. You the only reason I'm breathing, which is still the same spirit of Go Together. It's just different proximity.
It is. It's more profound when you think about in the mindset that you wrote it. Now, did you have case studies? Like, what was it that you saw that made you feel so deeply that you had to do this project?
Well, just through my service with the Dannon Project, like I spoke about earlier, just diving deeper into the solutions and realizing that who I am as a man, first and foremost, not just my expertise, not just my abilities, but who I am and what I represent. Just discovering that the love I have in my heart is what people that, that go through a lot of situations is what they need. And you have to get close enough to realize that you're the solution for someone else's life, but also to realize that they're the solution for yours. And so the best way I can describe what happened to me with this project is, you hear the story about Jesus going through town and everybody was crowded around and it's like, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And then here comes this lady with the issue of blood and then she like touching on him his garment. He's like, hold up, hold on, wait. Who touched me? And everybody like, we all touching you, Jesus. You that dude, right?
Oh my God, I can't take it.
And then he look around like, somebody touched me. I felt something flow out of me into somebody else. And he found that lady who was so desperate that said, if I could just touch the hem of his garment, I'll be made whole, right? But he turned his head. And so I was touched in that way, where the crowd and everything else going on, people who needed something from me got close enough to touch me and pull something out of me. But that also means something comes in.
Right.
And so this whole project is inspired by the enlightenment of saying, okay, maybe you were in prison, maybe you were locked up and served time, but what about people who are psychologically and spiritually incarcerated? Who are less free than you, who are incarcerated by bad mistakes, or who are incarcerated by their past, who are incarcerated by poverty, who you can find all manner, endless points of incarceration. And what is that story to them? And how can I share freedom in ways that maybe you have found?
Right.
It may be a power that you have found that maybe others need to tap into. And so it's the exchange of proximity that we talked about earlier. And so me, Till I Get Back to You, that I've never been incarcerated, but I have.
Right.
But I have. And so that was the poetry, and that is the poetry captured in this album. Is you may not know if I'm speaking about somebody I have a relationship with, or if I'm speaking about myself, or if I'm talking about you. You know what I'm saying? And that does take courage as an artist, because you feel that pressure of, man, you got to be authentic, speaking your truth, you know?
Right.
You know, and so for me, I battled with that. I battled with that, and certainly with some of the songs on the project that are very emotional. Like I have a song called Hopefully Heaven that was inspired by a gentleman who confided in me that he had thought about committing suicide and that my music saved his life. And he shared that with me, and he said, can you write more music like that music you let me hear? And I said, I'll try. And this song was inspired by his story. Now, I'm telling you that, but if you heard the song, you'd say, Alvin, you okay?
Right. Call the hotline, Alvin.
Call the hotline, Alvin. But it was his story. But who else is going through what he went through at that moment where he felt like maybe I should hurry up and get to heaven, right? And oftentimes we don't even see it like that. We just see people as cowards when they are facing those desperate spaces and places, and we turn our backs on them, as opposed to saying this is how we reach people who are crying out that may consider things that we don't even consider because we're not in that place. And so that is the he touched me, who touched me experience, to where even someone who would consider taking their own lives touched me enough to say, let me write a song about it, and maybe, just maybe, we can save another life. You know?
Right. Well, God uses people to get closer to him. So at the end of the day, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you know? Right. So, you know, everybody has faced bondage at some point. If they haven't, if they say they haven't, they're lying.
They lying. That's right.
Type of bondage. Okay.
That's right.
Now, you mentioned 2 singles on the album. How many songs are on the album? And you said later in summer, but exactly a date.
It's 11 songs. I do not have a release date yet. I'm just being totally honest. The only song we got out right now is Till I Get Back to You. And are you going to play it for your people? They're going to get to hear it during this?
I'm going to play it.
I'm looking in the mirror of my mind. I can see your arms wrapped around me. I know it's gonna be a long time before I'm back where I wanna be. I've been a little fragile for a while, and I'm trying not to let it break me. I'm all by myself. The only thing that helps is the taste of your sweet memory. I just want you to know you're the reason I will never let go. And I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about you. That's how I get through. Till I get back to you. Till I get back. To all of your kisses, get back. To all I've been missing about you. I'll be thinking about you. Till I get back to you. I'm a needle in a tone stacker. Hey girl, I'm lost, but I'm counting down the days. I should be a river running straight through your heart, but it seems like I'm running through a maze. The only thing keeping these walls from closing in is a picture of your beautiful face. I'm dreaming of your eyes, I'm trying to survive, but your love is what it's gonna take. I just want you to see you're the reason I continue to breathe. Said I've been thinking about you. Said I've been thinking about you. That's how I get through. Till I get back to you. Till I get back. To all of your kisses, get back. To all I've been missing about you. I'll be thinking about you. Till I get back to you. I don't know if you're gonna be able to hold on for me. So if you don't, then I'm gonna just hold on to this fantasy. The
please give people the your website information and IG where they can follow you and download this amazing song and wait on that album drop.
Yes, alvingarrett.com. My social media is the Alvin Garrett. That's your Twitter, your TikTok, which I'm just getting started on. I'm late to that. That's Facebook for old people like me, and all the other ones, the Alvin Garrett. Check me out and go to all your streaming platforms, Alvin Garrett, to listen to not only this wonderful song that we have synced beautifully into this video, but all the great music, especially Go Together, on behalf of our lovely host and all my other music that is out there. Yeah.
I can't take it. He's the one with the blue check. Just the FYI, the blue check mark.
And I did not buy my blue check from that guy. I did not buy. I don't pay for my blue check from him.
Oh my God.
That's $8 a month. You man, come on now. Don't
14.
do it. Oh, it's oh Lord, you know I ain't doing it now. You might have got me at 6, but it ain't 14.
I paid $14. They sent me a request. I'm like, nope.
I got there for Netflix. They going up. Disney Plus going up. All my little good services going up. So I got the whole thing.
No, I don't even want to pay for Showtime. Are you kidding me? That's $18. So, say la vie. At any rate, thank you so much. Always a blast. I would love to get some live vocals from you, but we got your lip singer, so that counts.
Well, let's do it. Let's do it again. And when the album drop, you know, we'll do something live for you. Or I can come back and sing Go Together just for you, since that's your favorite song. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you said it. So when I bring it back up again, don't act like you got amnesia, okay?
I won't. And you caught me on video. So.
You lip singing your heart out, okay? Thank you so much. And we'll check you later.
Thank you. Peace.
Bye.
I'm looking in the mirror of my mind. I can see your arms wrapped around me. I know it's gonna be a long time before I'm back where I wanna be. I've been a little fragile for a while, and I'm trying not to let it break me. I'm all by myself. The only thing that helps is the taste of your sweet memory. I just want you to know